Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Louella Morton, and I'm with a company called TestReach. And we have an online assessment application that allows you to run any kind of assessment or exam or assignment completely online. And over the next 5 minutes, I am going to be talking a little bit about switching to a transformation mindset and talking about how awarding organizations and hopefully convincing you to move to look at ways at which you can completely transform your assessments, whether or not they're for accreditation or whether or not they're for more continuing professional development. So you may have detected an Irish accent. And I am thinking that what better way to start this session than to have a quote from one of our most famous Irish authors, George Bernard Shaw. And he said, "Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." And how true that is, we have to be open to change. We have to embrace it and not fear it. So to open your minds a little bit, I'd like to introduce you to Dave. Now, Dave works in financial services, and he's doing really well, as he's in line for a big promotion. But the last step in order to get that promotion is he has to become certified. And it's a regulated qualification that's offered by a UK awarding body. Now, the way he gets that qualification is he takes the training, and at the end of it, he passes the exam. So it's now exam day, and Dave is on his way to the test centre in central London. But unfortunately, the traffic is clogged on the M25, and he realises with a heavy heart he hasn't got a hope of making it to the test centre in time. So he pulls into a service station, he contacts its awarding body, and with their permission, he's able to take out his laptop, connect to the internet over the hotspot on his mobile phone, and securely take his regulated exam right there and then, whilst being supervised remotely by trained supervisors. Now, that may sound a little bit futuristic, but that's actually true, and Dave is a real person. And this happened about a year ago with one of our TestReach customers. Thankfully, Dave actually passed his exam, but the whole scenario was made possible through remote invigilation. And that's a process whereby our trained supervisors monitor candidates taking their exam via video, audio, and remote screen share. It is very secure. It's not based on deprecated technology where you have to download Flash or anything. And it gets through even the toughest firewalls because it's very cutting-edge technology. And it's also being embraced by more and more regulators right up to level 6 and level 7. Now, obviously, remote invigilation is quite a large transformation, but many organizations who currently run exams on pen and paper, there's huge benefits to be got from moving purely to just online examinations. And the type of benefits that you can get as an organization, there's hugely reduced administration. You're not having to manage loads of paper, you're not having to flow it around the place. You don't have to source and manage couriers. You also have full control over who actually has access to my test. You control that very, very tightly. There's a lot of flexibility, it is very, very secure, and also there's massively reduced administration or data rekeying errors because systems are connected, so you don't introduce human error through, say, rekeying marks or whatever. There's also a lot of benefits for candidates in moving to online assessment. I mean, think about it, if you're doing a financial exam, the last thing you want is to have to do a P&L on pen and paper. It's draconian. People don't do those kind of accounts anymore on pen and paper. It's all Excel. Or if you're writing an essay, what we do now is we write down everything and then we edit. It's the way we think. You can't do that on pen and paper. You end up with big crossings out and you can't move things around. So candidates much prefer working online. And also, how many professional candidates are now used to writing for long periods of time? We just don't write anymore. And there's also a lot shorter time to results. And obviously, if you do take the approach of moving to remote invigilation, you don't have to manage test centres. Even in far-flung regions, you don't have that risk of appearing on Panorama because your test centres are colluding with your candidates. It's all a similar experience for everyone, and it's very easily scaled. And it doesn't have to be a leap of faith. There's good organisations out there like TestReach who can help you every step of the way, from authoring right through to your results delivery. So I started on a quote, and I'm going to end on a quote. And this time, it's Amelia Earhart. The most difficult thing is the decision to act, and the rest is merely tenacity. So I would suggest that you have the opportunity to act now. Our stand is literally outside the door there, and we'd welcome the opportunity to talk to you about anything to do with online assessment or remote invigilation. Thank you very much.